everyone, and welcome to this new video of Stage Masters Live. Today I'm going to talk about a topic which is, in my opinion, way too often overlooked at all levels, from amateurs to professionals, and I think somehow it's a pity. Well, I know also that some types of bands do not need to cover too much this. We're going to talk about practice. For example, a lot of cover bands think that, it's not necessary to practice because, we're going to improvise on some covers, etc. There's some good in it, but that fits only for certain type of venues, because you can't expect to put on a real show, the way I mean it at least, without practicing. So you can play the covers, you can improvise on them, but it will not look like a show, really, per se. So I'm recording this video now mostly to cover how important practice is, and just not only just to practice to master the skill, but what comes around that. It is really important to have a regular practice habit. For example, if you take some of the best performers in the world, those guys are workaholics. They will practice more than anyone else. They are the best, but there's a reason for that. It's because they practice their skills daily. Their skills as a musician or as a singer, but as a performer, as a creator, as an artist. And it's a hard work. It's not just about we go on stage, we put guys together, we play, and that's it. No, it's more complex than that. It is really requiring a lot of hard work to put on a great show. From an audience point of view, if you go to present something to an audience, they have no idea what you've done behind. They have no idea how many years you practice your instrument or your vocals. They have no idea if you rehearsed together. Those things, it doesn't matter to them. But from their point of view, they expect the best out of you, whether they know you or not. If they come to a venue and they just want to discover a band just because. For example, we have venues all over the world, in the Netherlands where I am as well, where people come at a venue just because they know that this place has 7 days a week bands, and that they expect quality. The place is known for that, so they may not know the band, but they know, when I go to that place, I know I'm going to have great music. So you owe them to fulfill that expectation. That's for the point of view of an audience. And it's the same when you practice something. When you have worked so hard on something, on the point of view of a musician, you can be proud of yourself. I think it's kind of cool to feel like, I'm proud of what I've done. I've worked hard for it. I got the reward. The audience loves it. But there's a kind of fulfillment as well. It's not just only about the money and getting paid for your gig. It's about performing, having fun doing so, but getting a response from the crowd, whether they are cheering or not. But there are plenty of different types of crowds. Some they are really demonstrative. Some they are very shy. They will be looking at you without any kind of specific reaction. But at the end of the show, they come to you and say, "Man, it was amazing." That's a reward. It's maybe not like the most fulfilling from a musician's point of view, but it's still a reward. And just to show you, to give an emphasis on how important it is to practice, just imagine a dream situation. You have to play in a huge stadium. There's gonna be the best lights ever, like the Rolling Stone type of lights, or any kind of like a major show, AC/DC, you name it. There's gonna be a crowd absolutely ecstatic to be there, ready to rock and roll, absolutely cheering and all that. If you have not practiced a lot, how do you think you're gonna feel when it's time to perform, knowing that your goal is to convince that audience that doesn't know you to come back to your next show. So that's what you have as a pressure on, because as a musician, you want the people to come back to your show, otherwise you don't get a job. So try to imagine this context. You have like the perfect setup, the setup of your dreams, and you have the goal to make those people want to come back to your next show. How are you going to feel? Well, I'm ready to bet that many will feel nervous, maybe scared. For some, not ready. That's depending on how much you've worked on your show. Some may even think, yeah, I'm not worth it. Maybe not yet for some. Maybe for some, yes, you're definitely worth it. But one thing is sure. If you have not practiced your show, your skills, inside out, hours and hours for months, you're not going to convince anyone to come back to your next show. Because the bigger the venue is, the more difficult it is to actually grab the attention of everyone and make sure they're going to follow you all the way through. On a small venue, you play in a small club, like there's 50 people, it's pretty easy to actually entertain them, make it personal, and have them, following you, whether you're known or not. But in a stadium filled with people, you can't be personal with everyone. You can't. You better be really convincing with your skills to actually turn them into fans and make sure that they will want to come to your next show. So practice like you dream. You dream of something, practice the things the way you would like it to look like if you would be performing in the venue of your dreams. That's the way to get there. If you don't set up a goal in terms of what you want to practice and how you want things to be, there's no chance you're going to get there if you don't have already a clear view on what it is that you dream of. So, for example, you can't, if you're on stage in front of a stadium filled with a huge crowd, if you talk to someone the same way that you talk in the street, no move is enhanced, you speak normally, no one will hear you. No one will hear you, and you're not going to pass any message across. You're going to have to enhance your moves. You're going to have to fill up the space on the stage, because when you have a big stage, I imagine you're a 4-piece band or a 5-piece band, well, there's a lot of space empty. So you're going to need to give at least, it's not that you need to be everywhere all the time, but you will need to give the impression to the audience that you can feel the space with your energy in some sort of way, whether you want to stay sitting on a chair or being standing in front next to your microphone or anything. You're gonna need to feel this either with your own body physically or with your energy. It's super important, because if people see all this emptiness and it's not filled with energy, they're gonna feel bored, and you're not gonna convince anyone again. There are several ways to practice. First of all, you need to practice alone. There's what you practice alone, and there's what you're going to be practicing with your band. Alone, what you can practice is your personal skills, whether it's your musical instrument or your voice or your body language. Maybe what you can practice is also the dynamics of what you're playing. Like within a song, how do you want the dynamics to be? So you can already prepare that and say to your band, okay, this song, I would like the energy to be more present there. I need it more quiet here, etc. That after you can share it to the rest of the band, and everybody can see how it will fit. Ideally, you need one band leader who's going to be able to say, this is what I want on my song. And that's going to be much easier to implement than if you ask everyone his opinion, because you may have 5 different opinions, no one agreeing, and it's going to be a huge waste of time. So you need to have one person who has a vision of the final product and must say, okay guys, this is what I need from you. And then you can really work. So practice everything you can practice alone, from rehearse the show in your mind, what you want to do, how you want it to be, and then the practice with the band is gonna be how to put into pieces all those things, and how to put the show in together as well, like the dynamics, the climax, where are they going to be, what do you want to happen, what things are important, what moments you're going to connect, build the dynamics so that every time the audience is in a roller coaster, you know, it goes up and down, but all the time there's something to catch and trigger interest, you know, catch their attention and trigger the interest. They need to be emotionally held by you, and you are leading them. Don't let an audience leading you into oh yeah, I think now that the crowd is a little bit down, so we should play something more rock and roll, or yeah, let's bring it down. No, prepare that in advance, rehearse it. Imagine the show like if you were in the audience. Rehearse this whole thing. Play the songs in your mind. Think of it like, okay, now I think it would be good to be like this, like that. But you can't let the audience lead you, because it means that they control you and you're not controlling your show anymore. So you need to have thought that through in advance, so that you know that, okay, at that moment, that's the moment where it's going to go up or it's going to go down. But then you need to have a clear direction, a clear view of what is expected from the audience in advance. Don't change your plan, because you need to lead them where you want. When you read a book, you know, the writer has thought it through as well. He's not saying, now I'm going to change the paragraph because I feel that my reader is you know what I mean? Is bored. You can't. The book is written. A good book is a book that actually controls your emotions all the way through. In a movie, is the same. The difference between a good movie and a bad movie is that the good movie is the one who's unpredictable, and it leads you in all the way through, and then you're going to have your highs, your lows, you're going to want to cry, you're going to want to laugh, you're going to feel happy, excited, scared. That's it. They work with your emotions all the way through. Do the same when you prepare your set. You know, practice that. Practice the thinking behind, like, okay, this is what I want to happen. Your set is your storyboard. Use that to create the emotions behind the show and build it up with that. Because when you have something put together that triggers emotions all the way through, you are convincing the people in the audience for sure. So that's really important. And to go back on the practicing part, for the ones who do not know how long they should practice, I would say that regularity is winning over the amount of hours. So it's better to practice 1 hour per day than to practice 6 hours one day and nothing for the rest of the week. Because depending on what you practice, the brain needs to actually understand that there's a routine behind, so that you get used to it, so that you don't have to think too much of it anymore. When you practice an instrument, there's the muscle memory. That's through regularity more than through 6 hours of doing the same thing, because then if you don't do it for 1 week again, the muscle memory is fading away, so then you have to rework on it. So for most of the things that you're going to be practicing, I think definitely you should take regularity over the amount of hours, because of course some people are not professionals, some people are they have a day job. I do have a day job still as well, so I cannot practice all the time the way I would like. So what I do is that I just know in advance what I'm gonna want to practice. I'm gonna practice a certain amount of time. If I can do more, I'll do more. If I can't do more, I'll stick to that. So practice it that way, the way you can, depending on if you're professional, semi-professional, totally amateur, and all these things. You have to be able to arrange your time, doing the right thing. Thank you guys for watching and listening to those videos. I'll see you very soon on the next one, which I have ready, but I need to videotape it. And in the meantime, practice the maximum you can, so that you can definitely reach this stage of your dreams. See you guys. Ciao.